Cancelled.
Schweezy.
All right, so it's time for me to now give relationship advice after a whole segment of why it's great being single. Folks, I don't know what the hell you want from me anymore. Okay, we're 23 episodes into this. I don't know what the hell you want from me, but we're doing this, and yeah, let's talk some shit about people in relationships. My boyfriend embarrasses me, all right? I have an opinion already, but let's read what you have to say. I love my boyfriend and the time we spend together, but find his sense of humor very cringe. It's not too bad when it's just the two of us or someone he feels comfortable with, but I think I've just gotten used to it. It was my birthday this weekend, and we spent the day and night at my parents'. He's in our bubble as he lives alone. Like I say, I don't know whether it's just in public or if I've stopped noticing, but he was just acting really strange. He's done this before when we've hung out with my friends in the past, and I was just so embarrassed. It's really making me question the relationship, but I love him, and he's the sweetest guy. He just gets loud and dominates the combo and puts on these silly voices and is really flamboyant when telling stories and says weird things. It all just felt a bit too much for me. I'm really reserved and chilled out, which isn't asking a good thing. I think it's good to be different to your partner, but I ended up not having the best time on my birthday and these social events, especially when he drinks. I'm on edge about what he might say or do. I don't know what to do about this, as I feel I can't exactly talk to him about it. So it looks like he has something that I do, which he has not done. It's called reading the room. And to me, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a pretty quiet guy when I go around new people, because I'm not going to expose who I really am to these people. I'm going to figure out who they are, figure out their sense of humor, and then I'm going to start showing my true colors. You got to ease people into it. It sounds like he doesn't understand that. Man, this one's actually a really hard one to give advice to. Obviously you say you like him, so that's a good thing. You may just need to be honest with him. Hey, look, you need to just say, don't try to be someone you're not, but at least try to read the room. Reading the room when trying to be funny is a very important thing, because if your sense of humor doesn't align with someone else's sense of humor, or if someone just doesn't have a sense of humor at all, and those people I call fucking annoying. Yeah, it's not going to work out for you. Just be like, look, I think you're funny, but also you need to read the room when you're trying to make jokes. Read the room a little bit first before you kind of go into it. That's the only real good advice I have. If his sense of humor is okay with you and you enjoy it, it's fine. But yeah, I think you just gotta have a conversation. Look, I like your jokes. I think they're funny. But you also gotta read the room, because that's important. All right. Next question. Let's see. My boyfriend still talks to his ex, and I read some of their messages. All right. I'm going to preface this with, I know I shouldn't have looked at his messages, and he really has done nothing to make me feel insecure in our relationship, but unfortunately, I'm just insecure in general. So my boyfriend and I have been dating only a couple months, and he is still good friends with his ex, who he split up with 7 to 8 months ago. They were together for a couple of years, but he wasn't happy, and so he ended it. In general, it doesn't really bother me that he's friends with her still. She has a new partner as well, and I know he's not interested in her romantically. But when I had a peek at his messages, I don't know what I was looking for. He's really honest with me about what they talk about and what they've said about their new relationship. There were a few messages that I don't necessarily think are indicative, I said that word right, of any sort of foul play, but they just make me a bit uncomfortable. And a few he calls her babe, which is a part of his natural speech, so it doesn't bother me too much. Then there's one that I saw where he called her baby, which bothered me a lot more than I saw that he also texts her good morning at the same time he texts me. Again, I don't think this is anything malicious, and I don't think there's anything going on. I think he just doesn't really think about it. Do I bring it up that it's made me uncomfortable? I would have to admit that I'd read the messages to do so. We have generally really good communication with each other about how we feel about things, and we're usually really honest and open. I just feel like there needs to be some boundaries between them. She's made it clear that she's jealous of our relationship. She's dating a girl now, and her family would disapprove, so she can't be open about it. If you're just going to comment, shouldn't have read the messages, then I wouldn't bother, because I know. Like, look, all right. Trust issues or not, if we get the opportunity, we're going to look at the messages, okay? You shouldn't be, it's your intention to look at the messages. It's more like, hey, I wonder what's going on with the man I love, or stuff like that. That's no big deal. But if it's a trust issue thing, that is going to be on you. So you're already aware. They text each other good morning every day. So here's the situation you're in. You have valid points. And everybody's like, yeah, you shouldn't be calling her baby and texting her good morning every day. Like, that's a little too far. I'm not a big fan of being friends with your ex unless a couple years have passed and y'all are better off without each other. It's a weird thing. I'm friends with a couple exes, but I also put up that boundary of, I'm not going to get back together with you. And I have to think to myself all the time in my head, like, am I willing to fight for her? Like some of them are married and are with really good people, I assume. I haven't met them because I don't want to. But that's also me trying to be normal. But yeah, no, it's the idea of like they're with someone else. Like, are you willing to fight for her to get her back? And in my mind, I'm like, fuck no. That's how I work. So that's the thing here. Yeah. See, the thing you have here is how to bring up this issue, because obviously, you obviously are aware it was probably not a good idea to be looking through his messages. In my mind, when I date someone, like, you want to look through my messages, I'm like, okay, I'm like, go for it. Because if you have nothing to hide, nothing to worry about. Obviously, it's like, I feel like there's something here where you could ask him, hey, can I go through your messages? And if he says no, it's probably a red flag. If he says, I don't care, go through it. Be like, don't look at my friend's messages. We send each other videos of old men jacking off, so might not want to look through those. I have a friend, we'll leave him nameless. It's not Micah. And his wife does, I guess they just had some marital issues and they go through the phone. And like I've known that for a while. And then I asked her, like, hey, so do you go through my messages with your husband? She's like, no, I'm fully on the trust train on there. I don't want to look through any of that. So that was pretty funny to know. But there is kind of a thing. Honestly, I don't know. It's just text messages, unless I don't know. That's a weird thing. How you're going to bring it up, that's going to be a good luck to you. You're going to have to bring up you went through his text messages, and then there's going to be a fight. So you got to make that decision for yourself. Did I give you an answer? Maybe. Depends, like the adult diapers. So let's move on to the next one, because I don't know. I found out the girl I've been hanging out with has a boyfriend. Oh. Did I write this? She just moved in my city for college. She has no friends here. Long story short, we went for a walk. Then she invited me for coffee. We both had an amazing time together. We clicked so good together. It is unbelievable. She gave me so many signs of interest. There is no way I misinterpreted. Days later, she texted me again. We hang out again. Of course, we have an amazing time together. We have a lot of chemistry. Then she indirectly tells me that she has a boyfriend. I was so shocked. Then we sat in my car for two hours and talked. She told me that their relationship is dying, so I now came to a conclusion that she is probably searching for someone new, since she had Tinder Plus showing so much interest in me, plus wants to meet new people. Then as she told me she wanted me as a friend, she now knows I was invested in her romantically. Yesterday, she left me a really long and kind message. What should I do now? How can I let her know I'm here for her for when they end their bad relationships? It's so hard for me to forget her and walk away, since our chemistry is so good, so many common interests, hobbies, etc. All right, buddy. This chick is addicted to you because you know that she's toxic. Yep, you got a toxic bitch there, buddy. You do not. I wish I was. It looks like you're pretty young. I wish I could go back in time and tell myself this. Toxic women are only good for sex, and they're good for nothing else but sex. We're We're not demeaning women. This is the Women's History Month podcast. But that's a choice she made, to be a toxic individual. And she's wanting you to do the boyfriend stuff, but she still keeps him around for the sex stuff. And you need to, if you do the boyfriend stuff, you need to get the sex stuff. If she's refusing the sex stuff, but making you do the boyfriend stuff, she's toxic and a bitch. And buddy, all I'm going to tell you is forget about this bitch. But if she wants to have sex with you, go for it, because she could be really cool in bed. But yeah, no, this is not someone you want to have a relationship with. She's toxic as fuck. And she has a lot more problems going on. And she's not worth it. I'm going to tell you this. She's not worth it. Because if she's doing that to that guy, and like she's like gonna basically falling out with that guy, keeping you there to be the next boyfriend coming around, imagine what happens when it ends for you, buddy. She's gonna do that same shit again. She's toxic. Only use her for sex. That's all she's good for. Like I say, women are not sex objects, but toxic women are sex objects. That's a t-shirt we can make. Toxic women are sex objects. That's good. So yeah, forget that bitch. Just have sex with her. All right, next one. I hate love languages. It feels like a convenient excuse. Hello, people. I have been having reciprocity issues with my girlfriend. We have been together for a year. In the entire time, I have noticed a huge gap in the amount of effort being put into making the other person happy. I am always happy to give her attention, affection, buy all the meals, and do things for her, and I do it without thinking about it. But she gives me almost nothing. I finally brought this up, and she said, "That's not my love language. Mine is giving quality time." To which I responded, "Yeah, but to me, quality time with you looks a lot like me spending a lot of money and doing things for you. I have made it very clear to her what I need, but to no avail, and I finally just called it quits." What do you think, people? Any similar experiences? She's saying her love language is giving quality time. So all I can say about, I don't think she understands. So I do not give up on the idea of love languages. The idea of what a love language is supposed to be, this idea of like, this is how I want to be loved. And this is how I would like to be loved. And I'm not going to go into my love languages because I'm not a woman on Hinge. And so basically she says her love language is giving quality time. And so for you, giving quality time for her is her love language. That's what she likes in regards to that. So spending a lot of money, I mean, if she's only requiring you to spend a lot of money, like, what happens to fucking Netflix and chill? Come on. Watching, fucking Pokemon Journeys on Netflix. Disney Plus, watching Avengers Endgame. Way better than OnlyFans, by the way. If you're new to the show, I just want you to know that Disney Plus is better than anyone's account on OnlyFans. But she's telling you her love language. You might need to understand what your love language is, and then tell her, this is my love language, and I need you to fucking put in some effort for this. If you're not going to put in for effort, die alone, you stupid bitch. That's what you need to say. Unless she gives you blowjobs, you might want to keep her around for a little bit longer. Find someone else and then skip her. Because blowjobs are cool. So, fuck her, I guess. I don't know. Is that what I'm supposed to say? Yeah, it sounds like she knows her love language, but she needs to reciprocate with your love language. So don't be stingy with love languages. So, yeah. Come on, Mark. Don't be stingy. Come on, Mark. Don't be stingy. Don't be stingy. Hen dog out there. Shout out to him. Whew. On to the next question. Sex with ex. Last night, my ex-girlfriend texted me that since we broke up over half a year ago, she's disappointed with those she had sex with. I don't know how many, and asked if I could do it again. So I'm asking myself if that would be a good idea in any way, shape, or form. Because the sex really was great, but I also think I am going to hate myself when I do it. All right, so you're in what could be considered a rock and a hard place here, buddy. Look, I think men are very good with distinguishing, like, we can separate our feelings from sex, you know? Sometimes, like, we may not like it as much, but we can easily do that. Women can do it too. I don't know what women are. I just have friends who are, I talk to my friends' girlfriends and wives and be like, could you have sex without feelings? And a lot of them are like, I need to have feelings to have sex with someone. And then people are like, I'm demisexual. Like, I have to have a personal connection with someone to have sex with them. Like, that's a lot of people. So, like, I don't know why this is a sexuality now. Anyways, though, here's the thing, though. I think you could have sex with your ex. However, it doesn't sound like you should be trying to patch up a relationship. So keep your feelings out of that shit. Because that's going to be the only way it works out. If you have any slight feelings towards her and just want to hook up, that's going to be a problem. Feelings is going to that's the big thing with friends with benefits idea. Like, I don't think it's a bad idea necessarily, but when someone catches feelings, you have to stop or be in a relationship, because that happens a lot. So if you're able to keep your feelings out of it, man, I'd go for it. Plow her and leave her with a mess to clean up with a towel. Get her the towel, throw it on her, then leave. That's the best thing to do. So as long as you can keep your feelings out of it, man, go for it. If you have feelings for her still, don't do it. That's a bad idea. Okay, we have a couple more. Let's get going here. My girl's mad at me for not calling someone out for saying the N-word over video game team chat. My girl is half black, by the way. Half black, half white, by the way. So we were chilling in our apartment tonight, and I was playing Call of Duty while she was on the couch on her phone, and I was wearing a headset, but my TV speakers were on low anyways, and she could hear some of the chatter on team chat. One of my teammates is just an unpleasant dude and likes to cuss for no reason, and he kept getting killed by someone, and he was getting more and more irritated. Enemies can hear his mic a split second after they kill him, and he snapped and called the opposing player the N-word. I muted the douche immediately, and after 30 seconds, my girl looked up and looked annoyed and said, "Why didn't you say anything to him?" I looked confused and was like, "I'm not going to start a flame war with some moron over the internet. It's best to just mute and ignore people like him." She said, paraphrasing, "You know how people can't be saying those things, and you can't just be silent about it," and yada yada. And I said, it's different on the internet. People feed off of the negative attention, and arguing is just going to make him say worse things. Got more heated and turned into an actual argument, and I'm confused the whole time because I think I'm being mature by not feeding the troll, and she snaps, "Maybe if you grew some balls, you'd stand up to someone in front of your own girlfriend," and went back to the bedroom. She's mad at me now and giving me the silent treatment. How do I even approach this? So, I don't care who the fuck you are. You call out. He's using the N-word like... I'm going to be raw for a moment. The only time I've ever felt it necessary for me to ever say the N-word is listening to black artists playing music. And you want to sing along, and then they say the N-word, and you're like, "Neighbors!" Shit like that. That's the only time. I have no reason in my life to ever call someone the N-word. That's just, it's just a period statement. Like, I don't know how I can naturally come up in conversation. The only thing I can say is the actual N-word, bad. But obviously when someone says, like, in quotations, the N-word, sometimes it can be kind of funny. It's like, "Hey, you little," it's like, "Oh, the N-word," Obviously, no, the actual N-word, I have no reason to ever say it unless I'm singing along to rap music, which I just don't. And then Austin Doyle makes fun of me when I do house shows and I'm just covering Childish Gambino songs, and I'm not saying the N-word because I don't like that shit. Anyways, basically what I do, I knew someone, a woman who specifically only dated black men, which that's a whole conversation with me as a white man who's a little Jewish. Was like, I only date white women. Like, that would be a big problem. But when a woman's like, I only date black guys, I'm like, and they're like, we're like accepting of that. Like, I don't know where to start that conversation at. But yeah, so anyways, there was a woman, she exclusively dated black men. and she would use the N-word on, and I always was like, that's a big word, you know. Just it's my way of calling it out, but also at the same time not starting an argument and be like, that's a big word. Big words are words you shouldn't say, like the R word, not Republican, the other R word. Anyways, yeah, no, dude, you should fucking call him out. Hey, buddy, you don't need to use the N-word for that situation. You call him a bitch. That's what I do when I play Fortnite with the gang. Like, that son of a fucking bitch. Like, douchebag, like, bitch. You know, bitch is a good word. That's a good word for someone you don't know. Or a cunt. Cunt is a good word, too. Why doesn't America use cunt more? That's another thing. But, yeah, no, call that shit out. Like, yeah, she's mad at you because she's half black. And basically you're saying, like, you were probably trying to do the best you could, but at the same time you're like, I'm going to be okay with him saying the N-word. Shut the fuck up, dude. Call him out. And also, how the fuck old are you? You shouldn't be playing with people who fucking use the N-word on fucking Call of Duty. What you need to do is create a good team of good people and play with them. That's why video games are fun, is when you can play with your friends. That's how video games become fun. All right, anyways, let's move on. Open relationship issues. So a few months ago, my fiance told me that she wanted me to see other women. At first, I was hesitant, and then upon her continuous urging, I started to try to have hookups. The past couple of months, I have been talking to some girls, and she just started getting really moody and pissed off at me. I followed all of her rules and kept her informed like she wanted me to, but she's almost constantly been treating me badly. I just don't know what to do now, because if I tell her I'll stop, she gets even more angry. She told me that she thought it was a good idea because she isn't a very sexual person, and because she had many more partners than I have. But you need to break up with this chick. This chick's awful. She wants you to have an open relationship because she doesn't want to have sex with you. That's the idea. But then also, when you have sex with someone else, she gets mad. This bitch is not good for you. I would say you need to end it with her, because you're not getting the emotional support that you need out of her, and she's just toxic and a terrible human. And you know what she deserves? Another terrible human, which is not you. It sounds like you're a decent human. You're like, well, I've been trying to have hookups, but I don't know. I just don't like it. I just want to love someone. I'm like, yeah, because you're a good human. So shut the fuck up. All these fucking polyamorous people. She's probably asexual and doesn't deserve anyone. If you're asexual, you deserve to die alone. Okay? That's all I have to say. Next question. How many more do I have? I only have 2 more. Okay, folks, we're almost done with this. We're almost done with this episode. Looking to break up with my girlfriend next weekend. What do I do if she insists we just take a break? I am planning to break up with my girlfriend this Saturday. Recently, I have been having some mental health issues, and I haven't been able to enjoy the relationship or be able to nurture it. I also just haven't been enjoying it in general. She deserves better than this. We have been dating for only 6 months. I am going to tell her I am breaking up with her for mental health reasons. My question is, what if she insists that we just take a break? She can be stubborn. How do I frame a conversation that says we are stopping dating for my mental health, and we are not going to get back together without being brutally honest, if possible? Okay. Best thing I can tell you, she wants to take a break. I would just tell her, like, if that makes you feel better, you can say we're taking a break. But we're not taking a break. I'm breaking up with you for mental health. Now, when you say you're breaking up with someone for your mental health, do not immediately get into another relationship. That is going to prove that statement false. So miss her with that bullshit. Other thing I can tell you is I think you have the right reasons. And if she wants to say, oh, let's just take a break. I'm like, if that's what makes you feel better, go for it. But with your mental health, being honest with your mental health idea, like, is a good thing. But, well, like I said, do not just jump into another relationship. That's going to ruin the entire thing. I'm telling you, buddy, that is going to ruin the entire thing if you jump into another relationship. And we're like, oh, he just didn't like me, and she's going to feel bad. So, don't do that shit. Actually, if you're going to break up with someone, mean what you say. And that is the only way you're going to get through life. If you just, I don't know why people just we just start needing to be more honest with each other, even if it's a little bit more brutal. Just like, hey, I'm not trying to hurt. At least say like, I say brutal things all the time. Like, look, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. Like my friends like have like an issue with their marriage. I'm like, look, man, I'm telling you this as a friend. I'm not trying to make fun of you, but I'm going to tell you something very hard. And then I tell them that, and it's just like, do whatever the hell you want. I just telling you this to be a good friend. And eventually, if you change your mind, I can tell you I told you. So that's also kind of a thing. But also, like, I generally go in, first off, I am willing to be a good friend to you. Like, just, like, don't ruin your marriage over this situation. Just be cool. Like, okay? Like, don't ruin your relationship. Like, don't ruin your life over this. I'm just here to be your friend, but do whatever the hell you want because I'm not going to stop you. I just wanted you to know my feelings. Just move on from there. So, just don't get immediately into a relationship. That's going to be your biggest thing. So, all right, we got our last question for the evening or the day or the podcast. My boyfriend tickled another woman in front of me. I always have the best for last, don't I? This may seem petty, but I can't stop thinking about it. Context is, we were at a Christmas dinner with friends, and he was sitting in between me and a female friend who's already married to his other friend. We're all having fun since it's Christmas, but then I saw him teasing her about something and started poking her ways and to tickle her. She was annoyed and kept scooting away, but he kept on poking her to annoy her. I found it really inappropriate, although... I just lost my spot. Sorry, folks. She was annoying, kept getting away, but kept poking her. I found it really appropriate because although they're friends, they're not close at all, and they're in their early 30s. Already for him to play around like that, would that be considered as flirting, or is it possible for a guy to tickle a female friend without meaning? I don't know. So, like, I worked at church camp for a while, and I know guys who, like, do, like, the fucking doorknob shit. Like, if you fart and don't say doorknob or something like that, they're gonna punch you until you touch a doorknob. And then, like, how fucking old are we? We're adults now. We need to stop doing this shit. Tickling another woman is, yeah, that's something. What do I say to this? I'm thinking out loud right now, folks, so I don't have, like, a ton of dead air. Only thing I can really say is, yeah, you're gonna have to tell him to stop that fucking shit, because that, just to be like, look, it makes me uncomfortable. I'm not trying to be mean to you. It just makes me uncomfortable. It feels like you're flirting with her and shit like that. That's all you gotta really say. And if he... Depends on how he reacts to that, because I don't know how he's going to react to that. I was like, oh, fuck you, bitch. I was just joking around. I'm like, okay, well, yeah. First you're poking her on the side, and next thing you know, you're poking her on the vagina. So, yeah, that's a big fucking problem right there. And the only woman he should be touching is you. So, you have a solid case there for your argument. I don't know why you're feeling like you're nervous about it. He should not be doing that shit, and he should never be doing that shit. And I agree with you. So all I can say is miss you with that bullshit. You were right. He is wrong. And he shouldn't be tickling married women, especially his friends' wives. I've never thought about, because like I said, I have a lot of friends with wives. I've never thought about tickling my friends' wives, ever, for any reason whatsoever. And I'm going to keep my life that way. Because I am 27. I'll be 28 in August. Happy birthday to me. And all I can say is don't tickle your friends' wives, folks. That's going to be a lesson today. What's going on, my fellow Schwoklord? Hope you enjoyed that highlight from one of the great shows that I make. If you want to watch more clips or even full episodes, go check them out over here and down below and everywhere else. Stay awesome.